Thank you very much. Let me from the outset express my heartfelt thanks to the gracious host, the Kingdom of Bahrain, and also congratulate IISS for their excellent organization and for also focusing on the realities rather than on abstract theoretical constructs. And the title encapsulates that. Maritime security is a regional and global responsibility. Another reality, however, is that the international policy on the matter is fragmented, or, as we have just heard, we need better coordination. And to address this, we need to focus on the relevant policy drivers. But as a preliminary clarification, allow me to answer a question that I think most of you have in your minds. Why Cyprus on this topic? For 4 reasons. First of all, Cyprus has the 11th largest commercial fleet in the world, third in the EU. It's first in the EU in ship management and third globally, with 20% of the world's third-party management coming from Cyprus. Secondly, geography. We are at the crossroads of MENA and the European continent, and we are closer geographically to Yemen than we are to Brussels. Fourth, 12 incidents in the last 2 years involved vessels associated with the Cypriot shipping industry. Therefore, the Houthis are a threat, and the experts are saying, and I'm sure we'll hear more about it from my fellow panelists, that it's a matter of time for them to hit directly in the Mediterranean. So I'm turning back to the policy drivers. The Red Sea situation has a regional and a global impact, and we need to reflect on the nature of the threat. The Houthis are versatile, resilient, and resourceful. From the local threat, they have been transformed into being part of the axis of proxies and now to an international threat. And targeting maritime navigation is a global danger. They have a comprehensive propaganda strategy that is flexible. The rebellious nature has now been transformed and coupled with their positioning on the Palestinian cause, and it has increased their credit in the Arab Street. In addition, they have shown strategic versatility. Low-cost, high-impact attacks. There are incidents involving even 12 entities, from ownership to cargo to management to insurance to sailors and so on. The actual success rate of the attacks doesn't really matter. Yes, it's dropping, yes, it's fluctuating, but at the end of the day, it's about them creating the fear factor. And that is enough to upset the markets. They are using weaponry that has become more sophisticated, and right now they are expanding their network of alliances with Al-Shabaab, Al-Qaeda, Somalian pirates, and other proxies. So they are finding a way of keeping the EU missions, international missions in the Red Sea preoccupied, and we have seen now this network being created. They are a sophisticated security threat with repercussions, and they have created a zone of risk that is now a reality. The consequences: 60% of the traffic through Suez is down. 65% decrease in traffic through the Red Sea. There is diverting, which causes more, and it causes delays. The regional ports have been affected. King Abdullah in Saudi Arabia in the last couple of years has shown a significant drop in numbers. And here arises one of the 2 paradoxes I will be referring to. The impact on the supply chain, the impact in terms of inflation. It has not been what you have all feared. It's been lower than that. But that is at the same time creating the misconception. We have thought, we are thinking rather that the threat is being under control. And this is a myopic view for a number of reasons, one of which is the existence of preferential treatment. Chinese and Russian-related vessels, cargo, flag, and so on, are not targeted in the same way. There is increase in such traffic from these countries. Furthermore, recently the president of the International Union of Maritime Insurance, talking on the 7th of September in Singapore, stated that the insurance premiums for the Red Sea are not uniform. 0.35% of the value of the vessel for Chinese, 1% for the rest, when before the Red Sea, the Houthis started their operations in the Red Sea, it was 0.4% for the rest. So there is preferential treatment. And this brings me to the second paradox. The EU has imposed sanctions and is imposing sanctions on Russia in relation to the illegal invasion and aggression against Ukraine. The Red Sea is a blind spot in that strategy. And on this, we must take into consideration the continuing and developing situation in Sudan and the growing influence and danger from Russia and Iran over there. And events can very easily overtake us, and the Red Sea dangers could become much worse from both sides of the sea. Therefore, the political planning needs to be strengthened. Right now, it focuses only on the military aspect. At the same time, there are other connected challenges as well. Piracy, 116 incidents reported last year. 86% of them have been successful. 68% increase from the previous year across Asia. The shadow fleet as a threat to the environment, as a threat to the sanction regime that we have in place. And this is a renaissance of the flags of convenience in a very dangerous way. Third, we have attacks against critical infrastructure, including data cables and energy cables. 95% of the global data flow is through sea cables. Finally, illegal, unreported fishing. And this is a huge business in billions that is affecting especially the African continent. We have therefore a web of challenges. And we also have the state-level challenges. UNCLOS has been questioned. This affects the planning, the strategic planning in terms of connectivity projects, in terms of energy projects. And this is something that's affecting also the Eastern Mediterranean, where Cyprus is being situated. In conclusion, we need to recalibrate our approach. We need to add the political dimension to the military dimension. We need to make sure that the item remains on our agendas. We need better intel sharing. We need a better use of the toolbox and of the sanctions and financing availabilities that exist, especially at the European Union. We need better cooperation at the regulatory framework at international fora, higher intensity of reaction, and engaging with the local partners. Cyprus will be very soon taking over the presidency of the Council of the European Union. For us, maritime security is a priority. It will remain a priority during the presidency, and we will do our utmost to make sure that we start a process, the issue remains on the EU agenda, and we reach out to regional partners for that. This is exactly what the aim would be, keeping the emphasis on maritime security. And this is exactly what IISS has done today by including this item in its agenda. Thank you very much.